The MG Show. What real independent journalism looks like.
Smash that like for the MG Show. Subscribe now. Ring that bell. Let's go. Smash that like for the MG Show. Yeah. Let's
go. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Wow. Welcome to the MG Show, everybody. It is, what is it, Tuesday? My gosh, it's the 2nd of June, guys. This year is halfway over, Shady, and we are going at epic breakneck speed with this Trump organization, shadygrooove. Holy moly.
The administration to beat all administrations. Like,
Shady,
no,
we need your camera.
Oh, I don't have a camera up?
Nope.
Oh, my producer didn't tell me that this morning, huh?
Yes, he did. He just told you. Yeah.
Oh,
so while we're waiting to get Shady,
anything.
there he is.
See, now look at you guys. Aren't you so beautiful in the morning? Yes, it is. It is 9 a.m. here, ladies and gentlemen. So give me a little bit of a break. I have to do it all alone. Like the producer doesn't tell me. I just like I have to move. I have to move by myself, Jeff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not throwing him under the bus today, though.
Yeah.
Apologize for that.
You're welcome.
So breaking news, shadygrooove. Pulte is now the acting DNI, not General Flynn.
I know.
Can I say that louder? Not General Flynn.
Say it for the people in the back.
Wait.
There you go.
Not General Flynn.
What aisle is not General Flynn on?
He's not on aisle 17, I'll tell you that for sure.
It's on aisle 9.
He's on aisle 9 and not aisle 3.
Okay. There you go.
So, wow.
Whoa.
Sorry. Whoa, hey.
Easy, bud. We're past the announcement shtick. Oh, Lord.
F. Flynn is Design Pro. Yes.
Hey, Design Pro. There you go. Now, that's the spirit of America right there. Bunch of... never mind.
Yeah. There isn't anything about Flynn being endorsed cue ball. And why, Pulte? Because apparently Trump trusts him to do a good job.
Well, I think that it's awesome. Actually, I think that this is actually very good. Because why? Because if you say because why, this is why I think because why. Because of the Rubio effect. Because people that you can trust are very, very valuable, and new people are crap. And if you bring in new people, then you can't know whether or not you can trust them yet. And if you use people that you already know that you can trust, you know that you can trust them to do multiple things. That's exactly what's going on here, in my opinion. And I think from my perspective, considering the current landscape, we need to keep a tight ship. The people that are currently involved with this administration are pretty darn good. And I'm fine with like spreading the love out a little bit and giving them all moving the same people around within the administration as opposed to like bringing in a numbnut.
Yeah. Well said. So, President Donald Trump, I'm appointing the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency and chairman of the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, William J. Pulte, to serve as acting director of national intelligence. William has deep experience in managing the most sensitive matters in America, the safety and soundness of the markets, and over $10 trillion at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, a substantial increase from where it was just 12 months ago. During this period, he will remain director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency and chairman of Fannie Mae Freddie Mac. Congratulations to Director Pulte, President Donald J. Trump.
This is amazing. Like this is actually giving people an idea of what it means whenever the president runs things as opposed to like the process running things. What you've seen your whole life is you've seen like the people go on TV and they tell you about this process that everything has to be done this way. Well, guess what? No, it doesn't. It has to be done the way the guy that we elect president says to do it. That's the way it has to be done. Yeah. And that's really the only thing that matters. And believe it or not, whenever you go back and you read your Constitution and you understand the power that the founding fathers wanted your president to have to get rid of dumb people and stupid things, this is exactly exactly the reason that they did not create a position as president as a parliamentarian. They created a person with a hatchet so that he could wield it. But you've been lulled to sleep and you've forgotten your power. But Donald Trump woke up one day and he said, you know what? These people have power and I know how to wield it.
Yeah. Lisa, 17 Blair, $20 Rumble rant. Happy it's not General Flynn Day.
Yeah. Every day is not General Flynn Day.
Absolutely.
Does he even have a day?
Somebody's asking who Bill Pulte is. William Pulte is his grandfather is the founder of the Pulte Group. They build a lot of houses. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's an American businessman who served as director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac since 2025. On June 2nd, 2026, he was nominated by my president, Donald J. Trump, to replace Director National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. Pulte is the grandson of William J. Pulte, founder of the Pulte Group. It's a residential home construction company. He studied broadcast journalism at Northwest University. Pulte founded Pulte Capital in 2011, a private equity firm, and founded the Blight Authority, a nonprofit that clears empty homes in 2015 amid leadership dispute. Pulte was named Pulte Group's board in 2016, serving a 4-year term. So he's got a lot of early life. He's from Boynton. He was born in Boynton Beach, Florida, Shady Grove, to Noreen and Mark Pulte. Married Julie. Grandfather was William J. Pulte from the famous Pulte Homes. So there you go. Just somebody that President Donald Trump trusts.
Yes, and so and then you're like, oh, well, who is this? What? Well, so guess what?
No, he doesn't have to be confirmed either.
No, and here's what I did. I saw that this morning immediately. Whenever I got up, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be funny. And so then I go over and I'm like, okay, so how does Shady figure out what Shady thinks? And I go over there and I start looking at the group of idiots, like the whole Flynn Wars horde. You just take a look, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, all of them already melting down. They've got the fevered. So the TDS comes with a fever, and it's also terminal. So that whenever they get the fever, they start to lather themselves up, like foaming at the mouth, like, oh, this is outrageous. How could Donald Trump ever pick a guy like this? I see it 3 seconds. I see it 10 times. I'm like, okay, well, I know how much I like this guy literally immediately.
Yeah. You got another. Trump's a builder. Pulte's a builder. Christian Jim Defender says, rebuilding America. Doesn't that sound like we got builders in charge now, Shitty? Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that amazing?
Wow, imagine that. Yeah, thank you for that epiphany.
Yeah, not only do we have builders in charge, but we have builders that recognize how to build stuff. Like they understand things, like they understand foundations happen before you put the roofing on. It's crazy. Like they recognize that you literally have to like put windows in the hole that have insulative value, like instead of just like pieces of glass. Like interesting things that are happening right now. Whenever this is the world that we've been living in, is the world of the absurd. The world that Donald Trump is trying to drag you into is the world of competence. But look at how these people are going. Look at how all the incompetent people are being dragged, kicking and screaming into a competent, merit-based world. The bloodline families, the last thing that they want is a real merit-based system. The system that they want is where their little minions can have little rugrats, and then they give them different last names and spread them out among all the states. And the next thing you know, they're popping up as senators and corporate CEOs.
Yeah. Wyoming Bubbles. What a word. Builders in charge. Yes. Pretty amazing. He built some of the coolest communities in South Florida, if you look it up. Big difference. Builders, not masons. Big difference. Where we go one, we go all. And, somebody's at, they're flipping out like, what are the qualifications of Pulte? Well, he's not derp state, shadygrooove. He's not part of the deep state. And, Trump, what were his qualifications for president, right?
What are the qualifications
he was a
of the critic?
businessman. Go ahead.
What are the qualifications of the critic?
Yeah.
Look,
so what,
like
no, it's okay, man.
No.
Trump didn't have qualifications to be president, except he's
Correct.
a businessman, which is what I want to run this country, because the CEO is the president, the Congress and the House are the the represent the board, and we're the shareholders, guys. That's how this country should work. And most people don't understand that even one iota. They're too concerned about stupid crap, Shady. And, people that come into take it like a new doctor. They're all like, yes, I'm going to save my patients. And they're really gung-ho. And after 30 years, they're like, yeah, you just put it into Medicare and just get that because we need to pay for my Corvette. But I'm just telling you right now, guys, he's going to be ready for the job, Shady. He's going to be trustworthy. He does handle, you saw Trump's post that he does handle high, security level stuff, Shady.
Don't you recognize the difference between, like, aren't you, wait, let me rephrase that. Aren't you glad that you're now seeing a differentiation in your reality between economic arguments and social arguments? Yeah. Social engineering arguments are okay. We can have those. But what they do is they raise the level of that nonsense to the point where they drown out everything else. And we can't have a real conversation about economics. So therefore that the puppet that they put in place in the White House can't be criticized for the economy, because they've told you the whole time, oh, there's nothing he can do. He's at the will, the will of the people move the economy, and the news moves the economy, not the president of the United States. But the president is supposed to move the economy upon the support of the economy. He is supposed to be on your side, the side of small business. The president is supposed to side with the little guy. The president is supposed to side with the underdog in almost all situations relevant to the way a human being is treated when it comes to government. In other words, the president of the United States is supposed to be on the side of the person who is having an interaction with the government. A person approaches the government, says this, that, the president is supposed to support the person, not the government entity that is lording over the person.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you got all these people, at that Delaney Ice thing, shadygrooove. Did you see all that? Wow. I saw some guy doing the stream. He was all like broken and like, I'm so depressed. Nobody's here. We need 1,000 people to show up. You're not going to get 1,000 people because nobody cares what you're talking about. And by the way, it is now confirmed that P3DOs are actually guardians of the P3DOs. This anti-ICE agitator who allegedly bit officers during Delaney Hall protests was previously accused of distributing child pornography. I don't stand with somebody like that. Do you?
But look at all these people that are out there that are advocating for that, man. Like now you have all of the people that are over here that are saying, you got to go support Democrats because Donald Trump is the Epstein class. Like, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to like literally twist everything around backwards so that they can utilize their machinery. The machinery is InfoWars. The machinery is the media. The machinery is the media. And that machinery is being used as a weapon of war against the people. That's the reason that we stayed so steadfast to Q, because Q said that greatest enemy of the American people is the fake news. And that is the truth, because bad information is the worst possible thing for the human condition. And the American way for a more perfect union is supposed to be trying to put people in a better condition tomorrow than they were in yesterday. And we can see this effect of people being in a worse condition today than they were yesterday over and over again. That's not good. We can fix it. And we're learning that decline is a choice. So we could choose not to decline. We could choose to do something.
Yeah. That's what I choose to do. That's why we pick up this mic every day.
Every day, dude. And it's so much fun. It's fun being here with you guys, with all of you. And we've created whatever it is that we've created here. We've created something they can't touch.
Yeah.
They've sent in all these people to try to like manipulate us and make us think they're friends of ours. And then they turn and stab us in the back whenever for no reason whatsoever. And they try to take people out of the audience. You guys don't go anywhere. So the reality is what we're doing is we're putting ourselves in position to take over this nonsense. All of these crazy people, the influencers, we're not influencers, guys. We're not influencers. We're pro MAGA, America first advocates. That's it.
Yeah.
We're advocating for America to be successful, and we can see that Donald Trump is doing exactly what he promised, and they're pretending like he isn't and acting like it's a fight we chose.
That's right. That's right. Wow. So we got a developing, I'm not sure if it's a full-blown pesky Q proof, but I know it was reported by Axios. We talked about it today. It sounds like something Trump would say, but it's not confirmed, and nobody also denied that Trump said this as well. Mm-hmm. But we are saving Israel for last, and there's a very specific reason not mentioned a single time. So we've got this report from Axios, Trump to Netanyahu on a leaked call saying, "What the F are you doing? You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this." Trump literally said he's saving Israel's ass, okay? Just like Q said, Israel equals last. Now, I'm not sure if this is saving Israel in the way people are thinking. We're thinking that it has a lot to do with the way Israel is set up, who Israel does business with economically, okay? Because you guys don't understand that Israel has the Lee family of China running their TV stations, guys. You know, we are understanding that they were probably saying one thing to the U.S. and buying from another. And I have a feeling we're saving Israel for last. I don't think this is a coincidence. I think it could be something that we need to actually pay attention to. And then we're going to talk about that more, because this was actually somewhat confirmed, Shady. I'm going to go out on a limb saying this was somewhat confirmed by the president, and I'll explain after we watch this clip. Shady, you ready?
I am, and I think what you're saying right there plugs right into what we literally just said. What we think is happening is we think that the world is being reorganized. The world order is being reorganized so that social issues aren't the focus, economic issues are the focus. And if we put ourselves in that position on the world stage, we can negotiate with countries in a real way and slough off the deep state, quote unquote, slough off the intelligence agencies. Do you trust like Mossad, Five Eye, CIA? All that stuff can be pushed back if there's somebody to push on it.
Yeah, here we go. Check this out, Shady Groove. This was on Jesse last night.
Yep, thank you.
Not last night, the night before.
The president even called Netanyahu today, asking him to stand down in Lebanon. Trump kind of lit him up. According to Axios, he told him, quote, "What the F are you doing? You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this." 47's trying to nail down this peace deal, and Netanyahu's trying to lock in as many gains as he can before the deal's done. But you know what's even worse? The Democrats.
That is true. The Democrats are worse, Shady. I'll give it to them on that one.
We'll have to let that one go.
We're saving Israel for last. There's a very specific reason not mentioned a single time. Now, everybody's like, well, Axios is fake news. Well, you know, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. The President Trump and the administration did not come out and say, oh, this is fake news yet, or didn't, you know, so we're just watching this. But there was something that happened again to kind of confirm this, Shady Groove.
Yep.
Let me go to this here real quick, because this is great job by highly decorated Navy SEAL officer Mike Surreal. Serial on Jesse Waters. Mike has seen it all and really gets it. He's a tough cookie, President Donald J. Trump. Well, I went to go look up that interview because Jesse didn't post it on his X, and I found it. Guess what the interview was entitled on FoxNews.com's page?
Explain it to us.
It was called Mike Surreal, Netanyahu will do what Trump says.
So there you have your answer, I think.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and watch this segment. Thank you, President Trump.
Isn't that interesting?
Fox News alert, the Iranians just got the wind knocked out of them. Overnight, U.S. forces conducted airstrikes on multiple targets, hitting the enemy's radar and command and control centers. That came after the mullahs shot down one of our own drones, a $4 million Predator. Central Command says these strikes were defensive. Kuwait also in the crosshairs. The enemy fired off a barrage of missiles and drones into the country. 2 drones headed towards our airbase there. They were neutralized. Iran's proxy, Hezbollah, also feeling feisty this weekend. The terrorists launching over 50 rockets into Israel. This morning, Netanyahu ordered the IDF to strike the capital of Lebanon, Beirut, targeting Hezbollah strongholds in the vicinity. Israeli ground forces are also pushing into mainland Lebanon, capturing a 900-year-old medieval castle. Look at that. This is their deepest military incursion into the country in over 25 years. Trump, not that happy about Israel. More on that in a sec. But the Iranians are calling this a ceasefire violation. And they said they were suspending negotiations and vowing to completely block the strait. POTUS says that's just a bluff, writing on Truth that talks are continuing at a rapid pace. But if the talks are off, he couldn't care less. He told NBC, quote, I think we've been talking too much, if you want to know the truth. I think going silent would be very good, and that could be for a long time. POTUS says that wouldn't mean more bombs. We'd just go silent and let the blockade work its magic. CENTCOM says the blockades turned around 121 ships, and U.S. officials tell the New York Times that the U.S. military has been quietly guiding ships through the strait, at least 70 of them. The president says, this is a waiting game. We're winning.
I'm in no hurry. I'd like to say I'm in a hurry because, gasoline prices are going to come tumbling down. But if you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal. And slowly but surely, we're getting, I think, what we want. And if we don't get what we want, we're going to end it a different way.
Hegseth's just sitting back on the world's largest arsenal.
We are prepared. We're postured even stronger today than we were on day one to address it that way if we have to, but he'd prefer not to. So Iran knows very, very clearly what our expectations are, and that's on the negotiating team to deliver. They're coming in our direction. The talks have been productive. I think they know where it needs to go.
47 believes we've already beaten them militarily, and now he wants to beat them at the negotiating table. He tells ABC that a peace agreement with Iran would be even better than a military victory because he thinks the Iranians are better negotiators than they are fighters. There's just one problem. Officials say the Iranians are literally in caves and they're not using email. So how do you hash out a deal with a band of pirates living underground? It's tricky. Trump's armed himself with a Sharpie and he's making his own edits. No loopholes.
They originally said, we will not develop a nuclear weapon. I said, well, what happens if you buy a nuclear weapon? So now it says we will not develop or in any way purchase a military weapon. That's a big difference.
The president says he hasn't agreed to the deal yet because he still has to get a few more points in. We'll see how long that takes. The president even called Netanyahu today, asking him to stand down in Lebanon. Trump kind of lit him up. According to Axios, he told him, quote, what the F are you doing? You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this. 47's trying to nail down this peace deal, and Netanyahu's trying to lock in as many gains as he can before the deal's done. But you know what's even worse? The Democrats. 47 saying this, quote.
All right, so I'd like to, real quick. So Trump did confirm that, shadygrooove, because this is Sorrell's segment.
Yes. I would have to agree with that because now you're seeing it a little bit differently to understand, okay, so now see a larger picture of everybody telling you that this and that to do with who does and who doesn't control Israel and what is actually going on here. Who's in charge? Who listens to who? Who is acting up? Who's being a petulant child? And who's being put in their place in the situation? If Israel were controlling Donald Trump, the conversation that we just saw would be reversed.
You
Wouldn't
think?
it?
No.
Wouldn't you think? Well, now, sir, let me just say, a puppet is
Israel
a puppet.
controls Trump, Shady. You know this.
Well, now,
if you log on to
sir,
X at any period of time.
I would just have to argue that if Israel controlled Trump, then why would he speak to them in such a harsh tone?
Wow.
If that's true. So I think this is very interesting,
Yeah.
the dynamic that's setting up, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make you believe that Donald Trump is the same as them. They're trying to turn him into the Epstein class. They're trying to turn him into a neocon. The neocons are trying to use this digital soldier battlefield, this defeat disinfo group of people on the internet, and turn the tide, just like defeat disinfo was built to do, which was to attack MAGA and stop MAGA from ever happening, and then attack us for the last 10 years. Well, now they're using that same bot network, whether it be Liz Crokin or Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson or Sean Ryan or Thomas Massey. Correct. All of them are doing, and there's something with that's in the vein of what you were talking about that's very important, Jeff, that we should show our audience right now that nobody else will show them, sir. I did a really simple Google search, estimate of the amount of ships that have been sent from the Middle East that have filled up with oil between Venezuela and the U.S. in the last 30 days. Oh, interesting. Approximately 70 to 80. Remember how many gallons of oil are on one of these tankers? Approximately 70 to 80 large tankers have filled up on crude and fuel oil from U.S. and Venezuelan ports over the last 30 days. Global energy markets saw a huge surge in Atlantic Basin oil exports, with Venezuela hitting a multi-year high of 1.25 million barrels per day, guys. Okay, you understand this? You guys know? Okay, let me. We're here, Jeff. Let's see what is global daily oil consumption. I mean, you got to understand there's 100 million a day. So the whole world uses 100 million barrels a day total. And within the last 30 days, we've been able to put 70 to 80 large tankers on the open sea. And we have 1.25 million barrels of that alone has come from Venezuela. The majority of that has come from America, but that much has come from Venezuela already within 30 days. This is what your president is doing that these people won't talk to you about, guys. This is what he's doing for you. He's giving you wealth in a way that no one ever thought could. No one ever would. No one would ever allow it if it wasn't for him to be in charge. But we're building up into the world demand. Do you know how supply and demand works? Jeff talks about it all the time. Economics, how does supply and demand work? Whenever there's low supply, prices are high. Whenever there's high supply, prices are low. So all we have to do is outpace the oil market. 100 million barrels a day. We'd like to be selling the world 100 million barrels of oil a day instead of it coming out of the sands in the Middle East. Iran could sit there in their own diaper for infinity, guys. We need about 3 more months, and we're going to get caught up. If they don't do anything and they don't make a deal and not another drop of oil comes out of that desert, we will be meeting demand for global oil
Production,
global
consumption.
oil consumption in not 90 days.
Yeah, exactly right. And you'll see under $2 oil.
Yeah, before the midterms.
Before the midterms are safe, guys. Just wait. The Save America Act. So we are controlled by very powerful people. Okay. Now who's in charge of the power? Your president.
The energy is power. Energy is power. Listen to what he's saying there. He's not talking about power like put you in jail. He's talking about power like energy. What does it take to run this world?
That's right. And think about like oil and gas, right? Even if you have a pool business and drive around cleaning pools, the gas goes up. You have no control over that loss. Profit and loss statement, that's a loss. So it costs you more to do your business, and then your prices go up. But we're going to see all that come. Something big is about to drop, will become true again, Shady.
And that's a great point to make, because the inverse of what you're saying is true too. So in other words, if the price of energy goes down, you can't stop the people from making more money. Everybody's going to be making more money because they're paying less for energy in every single aspect of the real economy.
And the stuff that goes to your store, energy. I mean, It's all there, guys. Okay. So again, this segment is called basically Netanyahu. What was it called, Shady Groove? Let me just grab it real quick again. This segment is called Mike Surreal. Netanyahu will do what Trump says. I don't think you can get any clearer. And the Axios quote was here in it when Donald Trump says, "Great job by highly decorated Navy SEAL officer Mike Surreal on Jesse Waters. Mike has seen it all, and he really gets it. A tough cookie." And we're going to go back to it right now, Shady Group, because he's going to be talking right now. Here we go. Wow, this is huge, guys.
It's so amazing, where we're at. I wish I could explain to you how amazing this really is, considering the rhetoric and the just absolute vitriolic nonsense coming out of these people's mouths.
Crazy. Here we go.
It's much tougher for me to properly do my job and negotiate when political hacks keep negatively chirping at levels never seen before over and over again that I should move faster, or move slower, or go to war, or not go to war, or just whatever. Just sit back and relax. It'll all work out well in the end. It always does.
And since when did the president ever lie to you guys? Okay?
Never.
And when does a bird sing? When they're, so they're chirping. Okay, the mainstream media and the fake MAGA influencers, whatever you want to call them, are all chirping, Shady Groove.
They are.
When they're going to lose power. When does a bird sing?
Right before it gets caught.
Here we go.
Or right after.
Yeah. POTUS says don't be a panicking, and the markets aren't blinking. Another day of all-time highs for the Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P. The S&P just had its best 2 months run ever. Wall Street Journal said that's a sign of more good times ahead. And once the straits open and oil retreats, it'll all be worth it. But until then, hold on tight. Mike Surreal is a retired Navy SEAL officer. So the president kind of had a hot call with Netanyahu. What do you make of that?
I think Netanyahu's going to do what Trump says. He put him back in the box in this one.
Okay? You hear that?
That's what I heard.
Trump put Netanyahu in the box. Trump said, "I like this segment." Axios said he told Bibi that he was effing crazy. It looks like it's true now, doesn't it, Shady?
It does. It really, again, now it's going to be really hard it's going to be really hard to square the circle of Bibi Netanyahu is controlling Donald Trump with this story out there, man. I mean, I'm just telling you, they're going to have to, this is giving the Flynnfo Wars horde way too much work, bro. It's every day. It's coming at them. It's they got to shovel their way out of the sewer pipe every single day. And I think it's amazing.
Boom. Back to Mike Surreal. I got his name right now. Surreal.
Yeah.
And hey, Israel has a right to self-defense, preservation. And I know Iran's not happy about it. Here's the biggest misconception, I think, overall, is that Trump needs a deal like he's watching a clock. Iran needs a deal, and their economy is watching the clock. But the biggest thing is, people missed the story about Iran.
Easy killer.
And the internal power struggle going on, and that's evident through Peshkian resigning with the IRGC. And so, he is showing that the internal power struggle amongst elite factions for a post-Khamenei era is what's really going on. So Trump can sit back and watch.
So wait, back up. So tell me what's going on. You're saying that the leader of the IRGC has stepped down?
So whether the story is true or not, and the internal Iranian media is denying it, it shows the plausibility of that power struggle going on. And we've known about this. The elite factions arguing for what a post-Khamenei era looks like. They want survival. So Trump can sit with the blockade and continue to do damage to a comatose economy and continue to just eradicate it. And he holds all the leverage. And negotiations don't minimize leverage. leverage happens, or negotiations happen because of leverage. So Trump is in a great position. And let me say this, I'll finish with this, to his comment about the Democrats relaxing. We finally have a president that's actually making decisions, not like a first-term president or a CEO looking at the quarterly reports worried about the stockholders. He's making foundational decisions of what's right for Americans a decade from now.
When you look at some of the attacks across the strait, the drone attacks, some of the missile launches.
That's a great point.
While these negotiations are going on, do you think these are rogue commanders that are launching these strikes, or is this a coordinated effort with the negotiators to put a little pressure on the United States?
I think it's the IRGC hardliners that are totally just not congruent with the civilian political class. And ultimately, I think if strikes start again, there's a few things I would do. Hit the coastal offensive capabilities immediately and hammer them hard. The other thing I would do is take Karg Island and actually offload the oil into our takers. We'll put it in holding for the people of Iran once they take over the country.
Like we did with Venezuela.
But let's not cause permanent damage to their wells, knowing that this regime is eventually going to fall.
All right, well, that could come pretty soon. I'm not sure how much patience anybody has at this point anymore when you see gas prices going up, but it looks like the president has a strong grip on things.
Wow.
I understand when debits don't meet the deposits coming in, but any great outcome requires sacrifice.
Yeah.
And we miss that as American people. And trust me, I empathize with the gas prices, which affects freight and logistics and the supply chain, and we're paying the price for it. But think about the next generation. I'm willing to go through pain right now, and I'm willing to follow a leader that's making decisions based not on what's popular, but what's right for our country and the Americans that make it, and that is Trump right now.
And 47 seems zeroed in on getting the dust and getting it destroyed, and that's the bottom line. Mike, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jesse.
Breaking news on one of the missing nuclear scientists.
Wow. Everybody's like, Axios is fake news. Well, everybody coming to my post and trolling me on that can now go watch the clock.
Call them the operators that they are, because see, this is the way that we navigate everybody. They were teaching you things that they do not want you to learn. Jeff, I have an amazing, listen, bro, I got an amazing idea. I need a meme. I know where the 51st state is. I know it's going to be the 51st state. Yeah, I do. You know what I want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Karg Island. That's going to be the 51st state. We built it, and then they tried to take it, and then the BP and all these people, they made all these deals off all of that island and everything. We gave it back to them after World War II. We should have never given it back to them to begin with. So let's just take Karg Island. We make Karg Island the 51st state. I'm willing to broadcast from there. I think it would be an amazing addition to the American way of life for us to have a vacation spot, Karg Island. Then we control, let me see, what was that number again? Oh, yeah, it'd be 97.65% of the world's oil supply.
Yeah. I mean, dude, again, I know oil prices are high. We've been saying this too. It's going to be worth it for your kids and their kids and their kids, guys. This is, a little bit of pain now at the pump. But wow, Shady.
That's a great point. And thank you for bringing that up too, because exactly right. This is the difference between what you're going to find here and what you're going to find in the influencer class. The influencer class are talking about right now. We're talking about a decade from now, like Donald Trump is. We're talking about a decade from now. You started posting 8 years ago. Okay. Here we are 8 years later. Do you see how things move now in a lot better of a way? Do you understand how it takes the will of the American people to move things? And do you understand how the will of the American people is being manipulated on both sides in a way to try to tear us apart? We have a quilt that is already sewn together. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the quilt that was sewn together, and these people come in and they start to tear it apart at the seams for no reason other than the idea that they don't like it being there, while they tell you that it being torn up is in your best interest, and say crazy stuff to you directly, like diversity is your strength. There's never been a more stupid statement ever made through the human race. Like, you could go back to the times whenever they were putting symbols on clay tablets. They still weren't that stupid. You could even go back to the time where the apes hadn't figured out how to how to pick gnats off of one another, and they're still not going to find something that's that stupid.
So let me go ahead and show you this right now. This is where I pulled the video from. Mike Sorelli. Okay, there it is, the video. Mike Sorelli. Netanyahu will do what Trump says. Retired Navy SEAL officer Mike Sorelli discusses what's next in the Middle East conflict on Jesse Waters' primetime. Look at that, Shade. Look at the article. President Trump said he did a great job. Okay, look at what it says.
So that's saying that that's basically saying that the Axios report is valid and it might actually be an intentional leak.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that? Do you see how the fake news is? Do you guys, okay, now think about that. Optically, look at what they're all doing with Israel, trying to make it seem like Donald Trump is controlled by Israel. Well, this event happens in the background, and all these operators know that these events have happened in the background, and they're going out to the microphones and they're trying to invert reality. So Donald Trump plants this story in Axios, and then they all lose their minds, and they all set their hair on fire, and they all act like it's this or it's that, or it's fake news, or it's not real. Isn't that interesting? It's
Light re, not heavy re. Heavy re is re. Light re is re.
They're losing their momentum.
They're losing their
They're losing their momentum, guys. Can't you see it?
Yeah. By the way, California, vote today for Steve Hilton for governor. He will work with Donald J. Trump and the federal government. The money will flow because I have confidence in him, but not any of the others. This is a Donald Trump post, and we will make California great again. Watch California, guys. Steve Hilton will never let you down. Vote now. I'm also, if you're in LA, get Pratt, guys. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's put him in there, and then I can move to California, and I don't have to go all the way to Florida. See, I caught him on that one. It's sunny. They say it's sunny down there, too.
Dan Scavino reposted, responded to this guy, Shady Groove. This is a National Security Commission of the Iranian Parliament. This guy is
IRGC to the core.
He's trying to show off.
You have missile? Go boom.
And then Scavino, see, look at that. And then Scavino, TikTok, mofo.
Like sands in the hourglass. These are the days of our lives.
Basically saying exactly what Trump does. He has all the time in the world. Okay.
All the time.
It's going to wait him out. You guys can threaten all that stuff. Yes, we had a violation of the ceasefire order, while they were, making attacks, and all this other stuff, but it was shut down quickly, guys. Okay. They're nothing compared to your United States military, guys. You talk about peace through strength.
Somebody make me a meme of Clark Island being the 51st state. I can't wait. I gotta share that. It's like, I'm so excited about that.
All right. So is California going to flip red? Remember, we got, we do have some issues in California. They still have the mail-in ballots. They still have the fraud. They still have the ballot boxes surrounded by people that are looking like they're dead and OD'd in the streets, guys. And
guarded by Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Black Panthers and the Antifa posted up there, to guard the elections to make sure no Republican walks in there.
I want to thank one of our listeners, I guess he's a friend of ours, right? That's Eddie Mike.
Hey, Eddie.
Eddie Mike has been doing the hats and stuff like that. And if you go to the mgshow.com/merch.
What about the app?
Well, I didn't get there yet. You don't give me a second.
I didn't.
You always do this to me, brah.
I do. I got to slow down, take a breath.
He's doing it again.
Yeah, I did it again.
So we got the app.mg.show, as Shady was saying, but now he's doing transcripts, with AI that he is doing. And it's automatically going to post a short about the MG show, okay? Check this out right here. Check this out, Shady.
Okay.
This is from yesterday's show.
On the June 1st MG show, Jeffrey and Shannon break down the Iran headlines. President Trump's message to sit back and relax, and the bigger diplomatic play. They react to Trump's conversation with Lara Trump, then shift into the Dave Matthews concert rant and the wider media spin around politics and culture. From there, they connect the dots on border security, the economy, and what they call America's comeback. If you want blunt commentary with real energy, click below and watch the full episode. On the June 1st MG show, Jeffrey and Shannon break
Is that awesome, dude?
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
We're moving right into the future. The golden age is ours to be had.
Yeah. That's all AI. It's all AI. So he's going to try to get it actually so it's all automated too. Okay. So the transcripts happen. The AI pulls every word and everything that we say. Okay. Puts it in a transcript. And then it goes to this video, puts the images in, and the images will get better as as he gets better and the computer and the compute gets better as well. And so that's going to happen. And then it will post automatically into an MG show. I'll get that link for you guys if you guys want to get it. MG show shorts. Okay. And then it'll post that. And then I'll post them on Rumble. Or if it does this today, he's doing a test today. If it does it automatically and post to Telegram social media, he can have it post automatically to any social media. How cool is that?
That is actually absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Is the AI listening to like everything that we say during the show?
Yes.
So it can. Or could it possibly learn something?
I don't know.
I mean, my goodness, bro. Like
Eddie Mike says it's in the app too. So app.mg.
What?
Yep.
It's in the app too?
It's in the app, Shady.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Jeff and Shady fighting will continue twice a day, at least.
You guys should see the struggle behind the scenes. We're thinking about bringing you a show of just that.
Just us, yeah,
whenever we're like naked hanging out on the weekend.
I'm naked right now from the waist down.
Well, I know, but it's Tuesday. Sit down.
I need the wide angle for that one.
I'm listening.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Stop it. We have children watching this show. And we love them. Thank you, guys. So that's awesome. So I just want to show you. This is MG Show. You go to Shorts, and this is how it's going to look. Look at that. There's the summary right there. We've got 5 likes already, guys. Thank you. 5.
Wow.
President Trump's message.
So that's the one on Rumble. Okay, copy. And I'll get that out on all the other ones as well. So, guys, if you guys can just go really quick during commercials right there. Go over there, like it, and we got 0 comments. So we'd love some interaction in our posts. We really appreciate that.
And, I'm actually seeing some interesting stuff about Rumble and where Rumble is going and the upscaling that Rumble has actually recently been able to acquire. So there's some really cool stuff going on with this platform, and it's possible that we do actually get out and about over here on Rumble. So treat the site a little bit more like a social media site and do some commenting, do some liking, and for the love of goodness, hit that like, subscribe, thumbs up, Rumble button, man.
From Christendom Defender's lips to God's ears.
What do you say?
I'll quote, MG Show requires 1 million followers.
Oh, man. Thank you. Yeah. That's a really nice compliment.
I like that. That's from your lips to
we were
God's
on our way
ears.
to that easy if the internet didn't decide that we weren't worth broadcasting.
Apples to Apple says, watch the MG Show where Jeff will be naked from the waist down. Careful, AI is listening.
AI is painting a picture.
Oh, God. Poor AI. Wow. All right, so we got that. Let's go ahead and I see somebody saying that we've got some deltas today. I remember doing them live, Shady Groove. Remember those days?
I do remember. I was there with you.
Wow.
Almost every day.
The deltas today are from 2020. Let's just kind of Antifa mapping started a long time ago. All right, we got this one. Expect us, education for libs. Expect us, 8 because we got the flag. We are united. We will prevail, and God bless America. This one, the only way is the military. Okay, think about it logically. The only way is the military. Fully controlled, save and spread once 11-3 verifies the first marker. Donald J. Trump, November 3rd. All systems go. Okay. Then we got boom, boom, boom. A week to remember, dark to light, blackout necessary. And there's the dark to light. I remember that when that happened.
I do remember that picture.
White House went dark. Then we got Proverbs 13.9. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is extinguished. Beautiful.
And but the thing is, the lamp of the wicked isn't extinguished whenever it's fed fuel. Okay. And communism feeds it fuel. and all of this stuff that's been going on in society since, for our whole adult lives, the reason we don't have anything to compare it to is because we don't know the life of our great grandparents. If each of you knew, if you could take yourself for 3 seconds and implant yourself in the era that your great grandparent, whoever they be, whatever part of the country they were in, if they were here, and you put them in that era, the difference between now and then and the amount, they talk about like how money was so less valuable then. You could, whenever they started selling you soft drinks, you could buy a soft drink for a nickel. You bought a hamburger for a nickel, okay? Because a nickel had value, not because money was worthless, because money was worthy. It had value, and you could, like a brand new Trans Am in 1975 was like $5,000, maybe even less for a brand new car. So, think about that. That was just 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Go back 100 years, go back to the time of your great grandparents, and you will see that abundance, there was no scarcity. There was no such thing as scarcity. If people saw somebody that was homeless, they would build them a place to live because everybody had plenty. And this is what the kings and queens of the world don't want you to ever see. This is what the Alex Jones people don't want you to see. They don't want you to see the abundance that I was just showing you with all the oil that we're currently selling, that we haven't been able to sell that much oil in over 100 years since they locked down the wells. All these families conspired together to lock down American energy, become more powerful by not getting oil out of the ground than getting it out of the ground. Do you see? More powerful by controlling the oil in the Middle East and not allowing America to produce anything. Derailing families and histories and lineages of people that have had inheritances to steal it away from them, to not let them have it, so that the big oil could lord over them, shut it down, and open up processes in other places of the world. That's That's what's being inverted right now for all of you and for us.
It's amazing, guys.
It's beautiful.
It's a great time to be alive.
Greatest timeline ever.
And we're seeing the Q post come to fruition. Everybody's like, saving Israel for life. Q is Mossad. Stop it.
It's so funny the way they want to invert everything. Just the same way that Donald Trump is the Epstein class. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Barking sea lion, we got it. We hear you, you bunch of idiots. You're very, very loud. And as a matter of fact, you said to listen to the loudest voices, and you're here to tell me that you're not the loudest voice. You're somehow rational. Right. Wink, wink. Sure, Jan.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. And, we're here every day. EMP Hands, I want to thank you so much. We got another one from Southpaws. Thank you for the subscriptions. I see some new people in here. Thank you as well. We got some new castles that were handed out. C. Grubb says, I remember those Q posts. Awesome. Thank you for being here today. VQ, you just got a membership as well. Good to see you, VQ. It's been a while, and you guys are awesome. Cram, thank you as well, my friend. Thank you. And I'm just trying to find my Q posts, too, that I did in 2020 on June 2nd. So I'll get those out there for you as well. But, we're watching the Q posts, and, we were demonized very heavily for following them. And now it looks like they're all coming to fruition at breakneck speed, Shady.
Well, isn't this all the people that acted like what? Didn't Marjorie Taylor Greene? Would Marjorie Taylor Greene have won her seat if she were not talking about Q? The reason that she won that seat in Georgia is because that she was advocating for Q, and the media were calling her a QAnon. And then the people of Georgia put her in there to vote, and now she's in that seat and has reached her retirement number of years in Congress, so she gets a forever retirement check, and has turned completely against all of us. Massey, all these people. I know people in Massey's district, guys. I literally know human beings on the ground in his district. They think he's terrible because that district is like 70% went for Trump.
Yeah.
70% of so almost 100% of the Republicans in that county voted for Donald Trump, and Massey hasn't voted with him one time. It isn't AIPAC. It isn't Israel. It's stupid governance by stupid representatives who get the media and the big money in their pockets, and then they get all loopy and start thinking that they're the most important thing in the world.
Yeah. By exposing devils. I mean, these people, why do they keep dropping links in here?
I saw that yesterday. There was one I had to get rid of yesterday that was dropping a link that didn't have any followers on the link that they dropped, interestingly enough. So it's Rumble bots, I think, is what it is.
Yeah. Go get your
They're
own
making
show.
an account, and then they pop it on the live streams.
All right, Shady, here they are, 6/20/2020. This will be my thread. I did this live. Well, actually, I think I did it on, 7:53. Let's see, these posts were when? Let's see. Yeah, 7:50. So look at that. Just within minutes, I'm sitting there doing a Q thread, Shady. Look at this, guys. And then this is Antifa arrest coming, concerns over riots. Okay. That account is now gone. We are united. We will prevail. Just kind of neat to see. Expect us, Mr. Soros.
What we were, this is the threads are cool because they give us what we were actually talking about in between the drops that were coming out.
Yeah, and this post right here got a lot of views. Look at that, because Roseanne actually reposted this. Isn't that amazing?
Now she's a Flynnian.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
It is what it is, but it's just really interesting that.
And guess who's not DNI, Shady?
Guess General Flynn.
And we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
Smash that like for the MG Show. Subscribe now. Ring that bell. Let's go. Smash that like for the MG Show. Yeah. Let's go. In a world of shadows. In a world of shadows where the lies take hold, in the matrix and shady groove, sharp and true. With the MG Show, they cut through the haze. Truth is their weapon in this golden age. No silver platter, no tales pre-sold. The truth is learned, it's never told. Digging deep where the secrets hide, they bring the light to the other side. Slaying psyops, tearing down the screen. In the matrix, shady groove, the truth machine. MG Show where the real unfolds. Dark to light, the truth is told. Oh, they're slaying psyops. to the digital fight. Shannon and Jeffrey shine the spotlight. Constitution's their weapon, their guiding star, exposing the games no matter how far. Every thread they pull, a story unwinds, decoding the chaos, connecting the lines. No puppet strings, no fear to face. They're waking the world at a relentless pace. P equals pacer, a name in the mist, a shadow empire on their truth hit list. Roots run deep through wealth and lore. They peel it back, revealing more. Behind the curtain, the strings get traced. A dynasty's power now face to face. With every clue, the veil's undone. The MG show fights till the lights won. Foreign and domestic billionaires.
When the drops began, whispers crossed the wires, threads of truth unraveling, lighting the fires. From the heartland fields to the mountains of Tibet, people feeling something shifting, no longer willing to submit. No more chains unseen, the matrix starts to crack. Eyes opening wide, no turning back. They tried to keep us sleeping, divided, lost in fear, but the signal's getting stronger, crystal clear. Humanity rising up, breaking through the night. Q lights the way, turning darkness into light. Trump and the plan for the people, hand in hand, from every shore, every child, every land. We are waking, we are one, humanity. The storm is here, setting the captives free. From the streets of Tehran to the favelas glow, farmers in the heartland standing tall. They know no more endless wars, no more hidden hands. Children safe again across these lands, and arms marching not with guns but keyboard, decoding the lies spun by the evil horde. The great awakening spreads like fire in the wind. Borders can't contain what's rising from within. Humanity rising up, breaking through the night. Q lights the way, turning darkness into light. Trump and the plan for the people, hand in hand, from every shore, every child, every land. We are waking, we are one, humanity. The storm is here, setting the captives free. Where we go one, we go all. The words still echo strong. Not left, not right, but humanity's song. No king, no throne, just truth on the rise. Millions standing ready with open eyes. Humanity, oh, humanity, oh, humanity. Humanity rising up, claiming back the light. You and the faithful turning wrongs into right. Trump for the world, every heart, every fight. Love over hate in the day and the night. We are waking, we are free. Humanity is yet to come. Where we go, one, we go. Humanity, 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 humanity. Oh, the storm has come, and we are the calm.
Yeah. ICQ people. Welcome back, Shady Groove. I think we have an announcement to make. Something's coming up. Something big is about to drop right here on this channel, Shady, isn't there?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm not really sure like what you're talking about, but something big may be coming down the pike somewhere down the line. I'm really not sure. We could all just really sit back and like wish that something would be coming down the line.
I wonder what it's going to be, Shady. Could you give us a clue?
Sure. I'm not really sure. I know that it might be happening on Tuesday nights, and it might be happening about 6 p.m. West, 9 p.m. East, and it might include a bunch of my favorite you people out there somewhere.
And don't we have a date?
June 23rd.
What?
It'll be 1 day away from 8 years since my very first broadcast, Jeff.
Breaking news. Q Lounge Live comes back to the MG Show channel right here live Tuesday nights, June 23rd, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Boom. That's exactly right. 3 weeks from today, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you back at night.
Let's go.
Wow. This is going to be a lot of fun. I have new tools, Jeff.
I got it.
Oh, Lord. Laws of mercy. We're starting off. Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He always brings the conversation back to him and whenever I'm talking about him.
Oh, I love you guys. I'm really excited to see that. The Q Lounge Live, June 23rd. We need to get a commercial. Okay, so we need to do a bunch of commercials for the break. Note this. We need to do one for our Substack. Have you seen our Substack?
Have you?
mgshow.substack.com, app.mg.show. You can even put it on your phone. I've got mine on the phone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got something else too, don't we, Shady?
Well, we have an app. And we have the app, we have the Substack, and we have
Q Lounge Live.
The thing that you're not thinking about is the same thing that I'm not thinking about.
What is that?
I can't figure it out, and the producer
won't
won't tell me.
About it. What is it? Spotify.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that could.
No, I don't think that's what it was.
It might be. Real quick, I want to thank a lot of people. Ames Camps, thank you so much. EMP Hands, thank you so much. Ross Pierre, love this show, and the lovely Patriots that watch it. Ames Camp says, I have an extra 20. Thanks, guys. Vote today, okay? Vote today, California. Let's go. Trust 1961, $29. I like that better than the 20 because that's extra for us. Thank you so much. I love you so much, Trust. Thank you. Cram, thank you so much. Says Sandy Star White and Poussant, because Poussant says $20 is $20. Anybody else? Thank you so much. Because Sandy Star White started it off with, I got 10. Then she says, I might have 15. And then she says, $20 make you holla. XOXOXO. I love the MG Show. And that kicked off a bunch of people helping us with this show. We cannot thank you enough because we need you guys. Okay. Thank you.
So amazing. Thank you, Sandy. Much love to you. You're such a beautiful spirit. Thank you so much. I've been through quite the ringer to be here fighting. And I consider everybody that's here, I consider that you're fighting not for us, the MG Show. You're fighting for your country. You're fighting for the ideas that your founding fathers set forth, and that be what wins the argument at the end of the day. That's really what we're pushing for. We're trying to make it to where that at the end of the day, the argument that the founding fathers were making about what America should be is what it is that wins. Okay. And so thank all of you for thinking that we're important enough to actually monetarily contribute to. I do have to report, Jeff, that Joe Ray just sent me a message. It looks like they finally finished the weird count or whatever it is that they do in Oregon, and she doesn't have enough votes, but she is submitting it for review. But the reality of the situation is, guys, we got to get rid of this mail-in voting. It is it's absolute nonsense. They say that's the way of the future because they were planning on bringing in 50 to 100 million illegal people and have them literally vote you out of office. And the next thing you know, Ilhan Omar is running every single representative district around the country.
Wow. I forgot to thank Cram. Cram, thank you so much. I forgot the $5. Cram. Mark.
It's Mark, but Cram, Hulk. But it's backwards.
Hulk. Mark Hulk. We love you. And by the way, coming up on the MG Show, we will have the Dr. Oz giving the press conference today, Shady Groove.
Oh, no, say it ain't so. We love you too, Philly Bud.
Yeah, man.
Philly Bud Mama, she fights with me out there on Twitter all the time.
Nice. Philly Bud Mama.
She gets in there and rings her little neck.
All right. Thank you for
Good afternoon, everybody.
You done with us? Oh,
like I'm ducking into a classroom.
We were just getting started.
I've got a couple announcements, then love to take some questions for you.
Okay.
When the president came in for this term, he commented on how challenging it had been
Thank you,
to deal
Fickle-Futz.
with the affordability crisis in pharmaceutical medications, often commenting on the fact that he'd been able to reduce the price by 1/8 of 1% at one point in the first administration, and he thought that was a massive achievement because it's usually just skyrocketing. And it's an important issue for a lot of folks in America because almost 1 in 3 Americans, when they go to a pharmacy to pick up a medication that their doctors prescribe for them, leaves empty-handed because they can't afford the medication, especially for branded products. And part of the reason for this, it's unknown to a lot of Americans, but is well recognized by the president and this administration, is that our drug prices are about 3 times higher on average than the same drugs made in the same facilities in the same American factories oftentimes than they are charging patients overseas in Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world. It's global freeloading. It's wrong. The president demanded that we change it, and as most of you know, we spent much of last year negotiating with the 17 largest pharmaceutical companies that drive over 80% of the entire business in branded pharmaceuticals, and every single one of them agreed to a most favored nation drug pricing strategy, which simply stated means that these medications, especially going into the future, will be priced at the same amount as the rest of the world. It doesn't mean price fixing. We're not telling pharmaceutical companies what to charge. We're saying to them, whatever you charge us, you got to charge the other folks, which means we might be able to help you overseas to get better pricing so that you can make up some of the losses that you'll experience here. And the Council of Economic Advisors estimated that the benefit of the president's negotiated program is about $600 billion over the next 10 years, $600 billion of savings. The question then becomes, how do you actually get that savings to the American people? And we work together with some wonderful folks, Joe Gebbia, Ed Korstein, who have been building the TrumpRx.gov site. And I got an announcement that today we are adding 160 more drugs to this site. Now, the site already has 700 or so, or 600 or so drugs, so it's going to take it over 750 total. But that is an important number for other reasons. It means that 4 out of 5 medications that are picked up by Americans going into that same drugstore that I mentioned earlier now have the opportunity to double check that the price they're getting in that drugstore, wherever they're buying it from, is the best price out there. So it's a transparency site. It gives everybody the ability to make important decisions about medications they're purchasing with full knowledge of what the cost of those medications are. And that's important because transparency drives cost-effective changes in how we procure and consume products. You would never buy a car without knowing the cost of the car. Some of these medications cost what a car costs. And so these are important assets for the American people to have. I'll put some numbers on this. In the 2 weeks since we did the last event with the president on this topic, we're now up to about 12 million unique visitors to the site. Estimated savings are about $500 million, and again, climbing rapidly as more Americans learn about the program. And it is our great hope and belief that the average American, before they make a purchasing decision for a pharmaceutical product, will start using TrumpRx.gov as a standard, as a baseline, to take advantage of something that's been given to you. Again, there's no money made from this site. The government does not charge money to people using this site. It's an opportunity for you to be empowered. That stated, I want to add to that one additional insight that some of you would like to hear, which is that starting on July 1st, the patients on beneficiaries on Medicare who are eligible for GLP products, the weight loss products that the president speaks of frequently, will be allowed to obtain those products for $50 a month. Now, the list price, as you know, for a lot of these drugs is well over $1,000 a month. We've been working hard to push down on these prices to make sure that these medications, which can be life-changing and even life-savings because of their impact on weight loss and downstream complications like diabetes and hypertension and all the things that they cause, like kidney failure, heart disease, and strokes and dementia, even cancers, all those risk factors are going to be mitigated, we believe, if these medications are used correctly. And so when doctors prescribe them, Medicare beneficiaries will be able to obtain them for $50 a month. And we are hopeful that over the next few years, we will show an actual savings to the American taxpayer if these medications are used correctly and appropriately and consistently, so folks get the weight loss they desire with the downstream benefits that I mentioned earlier. I also want to touch briefly on the crushing of fraud, waste, and abuse made possible by the Vice President's anti-fraud task force. The White House task force has been aggressively going after an all-of-government approach. I'll speak personally as the person charged with the Medicare and Medicaid services. When we identify, by looking at the data, which we have plenty of, that there's an aberrancy in how these bills are coming into us, so there might be fraud there, it's incredibly empowering for us to quickly call the Office of Inspector General or the FBI, the Department of Justice, and to have Todd Blanche call back and say, here's what we're going to do about what you just observed, or call Scott Bessent at Treasury and say, we need forensic accounting, something is going on here, where are they hiding the money? And I want to emphasize that this is sophisticated work because our opponents are extraordinarily sophisticated in their attacks on our system. They just need to have a Medicare beneficiary number or some of their ID, which is basically a credit card, and they can begin charging against the federal tax dollars that go into Medicare and Medicaid. That's one of the reasons we're seeing such high amounts of fraud in different parts of the country, and we believe there are organized criminal groups behind some of these endeavors. So I wanted to walk you through a couple of these examples because our goal is to stop the money from ever leaving the building. That is the best way to protect the American taxpayer. As you know, we were in Minnesota last week where the largest autism takedown occurred. A mother and a daughter, adult daughter, were accused of tens of millions of dollars of theft. Just to put this in perspective, the reason these are so important is if you defraud the system, you don't just take money out of the system. People steal your money. The money from our most vulnerable Americans are going to steal their health. They'll steal their life. And that's what we have been seeing in some of these takedowns. Unfortunately, when these events don't happen in a timely fashion, you lose the whole program. So in Minnesota, the state itself stopped non-emergency medical transportation, which is when you need someone to take you to the doctor's appointment. They cut the whole program. It's gone. It's finished. Because they could not deal with the fraud. It went from an estimated $1 million a year, how much can it cost to take a card to a doctor's office, to over $100 million a year, so they killed the program. And that, of course, we believe, because it doesn't provide the kind of care we desire for our fellow Americans, can be problematic. We don't want that to happen in other endeavors as well. So we've been working with the state of Minnesota. We're not happy with some of the things we've been encountering as we look at their receipts on the services they provided, which is why we deferred $350 million to the state of Minnesota, and we're waiting to hear feedback from them. Other states have also been problematic. California comes to mind, where we've made several trips of late. 1/3 of all of the hospice in the entire country. And hospice is a precious, beautiful program built in the 80s to take care of people with dignity in the last months of their life. Classically, someone has cancer, they're going to die. It's going to happen in a few months. You give up your Medicare, because why would you want Medicare? You don't need all those things. Take hospice instead. But that trade has risks with it if you don't actually have a lethal problem. And when 1/3 of all the hospices in the entire country are in Los Angeles, not even California, and Los Angeles, that creates issues. First of all, it's not plausible, but it also means someone's been ignoring the problem. And in fact, there was a call 4 years ago by the state auditor in California to address these problems. It was not managed. So our agency has now suspended payments to 850, almost half of all the hospices in California now have been suspended, but they're no longer being paid. And we're going to keep aggressively
nobody calls to complain.
When we go after hospice in California, guess what happens? Hospice in Nevada went up 7-fold. Hospice in Arizona, hospice in Texas, they've all gone up. These scoundrels run to other areas. I just learned this morning, now they're infiltrating the home healthcare space in California, which is equally a problem, because now they're taking advantage of a different sector of the population, this time Medicaid, but using nefarious techniques and technologies to do that as well. And again, these are organized criminal syndicates, we believe, in many instances. And that's why being a personal care service attendant, which is, again, doing something that your family would normally do for you, carrying groceries upstairs, driving you somewhere, that job is now by twofold the most common job in California, and it's the most common job in New York. Again, this defies belief that you could get that much growth in single sectors, but these are well-paid jobs that have become now ubiquitously available. There's not been strong guardrails. The last administration did not think that this was an important endpoint. The endpoint was enrolling people and getting people onto these different programs, and that has led to a tremendous opportunity for corrupting the system, and that's what we're witnessing. With that in mind, there's lots we can do to fix these problems. We've been aggressively going after states, red and blue. We wrote a letter to Florida. The difference, by the way, was Florida responded by saying, we know we have a problem. We're going to double down. We want a moratorium on all of our durable medical equipment suppliers. And why? Because there are twice as many durable medical equipment suppliers in South Florida than McDonald's. Again, not really possible unless you're looking the other way. We're not looking the other way. We're aggressively taking on these challenges. And I'm going to reemphasize something that I'm hoping everyone appreciates. But if you're defrauding our most vulnerable citizens in America, do not walk away from this threat. Run away from us, because we're coming after you. All right. I've got. Give me 1 second. I was actually given a cheat sheet, which you all know I got. Shelby, the new media, take it away.
Thanks. I actually wanted to ask about that nationwide moratorium. Industry groups are really concerned about growth and employment getting hurt if that moratorium expands beyond 6 months. Would you rule out an extension of that moratorium, or do you expect that it's going to be expanded?
I'm not going to rule out an extension. We have been talking to industry groups about these moratoria. In fact, just as for everybody watching, all of you as well, we benefit from whistleblowers. Our most important whistleblowers have been members of industry who know the game, know how you can cheat it if you're unethical, and they point out to us when these problems occur. So we do not want to hurt the folks who are earnestly involved in hospice, in durable medical equipment suppliers, personal care services. They're good people in these businesses, but we're going to slow down the growth of these sectors till we can get our arms around the problem, because it is of massive magnitude to us. When we go to, let's go over here. Go ahead.
Dr. Oz, thank you so much. Kara Castronova from Lindell TV with two important questions that the American people voted for and care deeply about. Many Americans fear a future administration could reinstate COVID-era vaccine mandates through Medicare and Medicaid funding. Would you support and create reforms to prevent that from happening again? What can you do during your remaining time at CMS to ensure Americans are never forced to choose between their jobs and a forced vaccination?
Well, the president talked about this a bit on Friday with an executive order that desires to provide states with better science to be able to make educated decisions. It is an embarrassment that during COVID we allowed ideology and fear to dictate healthcare policy. Many clinicians at the time couldn't understand where these ideas were coming from. It certainly soured the American people on the trust that their government had historically had in recommending public policy efforts. The president argues, and he's right, and Secretary Kennedy strongly believes we need gold standard science. We need that science to be able to help families make better decisions for themselves, and state governments, because these are state-driven issues usually, especially mandates, to make those decisions more wisely. If we can do this in the right way, it will be very empowering, because who loves children the most? Their parents. No matter what we might say, they're the ones who need to have the information. They should have the ability to make the wisest choices for their kids, not based in fear, but based in science. Stephen.
One more nursing home stuff, Dr. Oz, if you don't mind.
Let me go one at a time. If you ask,
I'm not a biologist, but that did not sound like Stephen.
Well, that was because that was the Lindell TV lady, trying to continue on. She was jumping right in there about the vaccines.
Questions. I'm only going to answer one anyway, so we'll come back. I promise. I talk quickly. Go ahead.
Dr. Oz, thank you. And I actually have two, but we'll see what you like.
I'll answer one. Pick one.
Well, the first is on most favored nations, the policy. I was hoping that you could explain why the administration thinks it's important to pass legislation codifying these deals. Is the fear that a future president might walk away? And what do you make of the congressional pushback? And also on my tragedy derived from Kratom, President Trump has expressed interest. Can you describe the debate within the administration on that?
Let me answer the first one, because there's not a big debate on the second one. The reality around the most favored nation drug pricing is the president has dealt with the entire problem for this administration. But these contracts expire after this administration is done. So like so many things the president's trying to do, he's trying to set it up for the next administration so that they don't have to fight the same battle. Now, it's going to be difficult for pharmaceutical companies to pull back. But we still believe it makes sense for Congress to codify what we've been able to achieve, because it's been so helpful. Think about the $600 billion of savings to the average American over the next 10 years. It's just a massive number that they voluntarily sort of gave back because the president went after them and said, you got to deal with this problem. And by the way, when we knocked on the door of these pharmaceutical company leaders, you know what they said? We knew one day you'd come for us. They weren't surprised. They knew that this couldn't continue. So the president wants Congress, which I know has a lot on its plate, but there are ongoing discussions around the great health care plan. Just last week, the Workforce Committee pushed something out that is going to be on PBM reform, pharmacy benefits management companies, so the middlemen that often are involved between the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies. So there's other parts of the legislation moving forward. But just to remind you, the great health care plan is codifying most favored nation drug pricing so it lasts for decades into the future, as we believe it should. This is all forward-looking, doesn't hurt these companies today, just make sure America's protected in the future. We want plain English insurance policies so you can actually understand the document that you're being given. We want transparency so when you go to a hospital, to a doctor's office, that you actually know what you're getting. Guys, as a doctor, when I prescribe something for you, I often don't know what it's going to cost you to pick up what I just told you to get. These are things that are fixable, and the pharmacy benefits is another part of this. Let's go to...
I want to jump in, Jeff.
Yeah, Daily Wire, Mary.
You here? Yeah, I want to jump in real quick because I just want to point something out very, very quickly to all of you that are watching this right now. Hope you're seeing the significance of why we're paying attention to this. I really do, and how important it is. Listen, we have been seeing news conferences like this. People come out from the administration and do press conferences and things like our whole entire lives. You've never seen anything like what you're seeing right now. The idea that what is being presented to you is not only competency, but it's also excellence and adhering to a normal common sense way of thinking, and also setting up for the future. In other words, not sacrificing the future so that you could get a political point now. Everything that we've ever seen in politics is all about scoring, like you're watching an NBA game or ping pong. We've talked about that. Reality, why do you have to? We don't need to score. What we need to do is we need to win. We need to set people up to win. And this whole dynamic right here was created under the Obama, the healthcare, Obamacare thing. This was all created. This was intentional. They gave them these privileges intentionally. They told them that you would be able to sell these drugs to Americans for these extraordinarily high prices intentionally. And they did news conferences just like this where they came out and they told you how that this was going to be in your best interest. And all these people that were Republican and Democrat elected to Congress at the time came to the microphone to tell you the same thing. Now we're watching something completely different. Now we're watching something that's actually true that's happening. So this person is here telling you these things are going on. He's not making it up. Like all of the people that we've seen in the past come do this. That's the reason that I feel like this is so very vital for everybody to get the full picture of these press conferences, to understand how the administration is communicating with people, and watch the way that the media will sit there and ask him a question, whether it be Axios, Fox News, CNN. They'll ask him a question, and then in the morning you will read a post or an article by the person that asked that question that completely mischaracterizes the answer and the position of the administration on purpose to confuse people. The media is where the breakdown in communication is, and this supersedes that by listening to the source.
You know, it's also awesome. You mentioned, leadership, competency, and I would say transparency as well. This is how it should be done. Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah, that's absolutely crucial. The transparency aspect of that is the linchpin that makes it even possible.
Boom. Back to Dr. Oz. Shady, good comments. Here we go.
So good.
So good.
Here. Thank you. My colleague Luke Rosiak just reported, and he's done a lot on this, his investigations into Medicaid fraud and home health have repeatedly brought him to foreign-born healthcare operators. Is CMS tracking what percentage of home health recipients are refugees or foreign-born, and why are foreigners using these programs at such higher rates than for Americans?
Well, we are tracking illegal immigrants taking advantage of all health care plans. We've already recouped, or we've actually told California they owe us $2 billion. We've got half of it back already. I'm confident we'll get the rest because they have state-based programs that we don't have a lot of visibility into, but because of the Working Families Tax Cut legislation and other rulemaking, we are no longer allowing foreign folks who are here illegally to benefit from these programs. And just to put it in context, in California, if you're on Medi-Cal, the Medicaid program in California, until this administration, you got full dental and full vision benefits. Now, I'm for those benefits. I like them, but we don't give that to Medicare patients. And so we should at least be equitable, and all of us together should decide what we are going to do as a nation. So if we as a country decide we're going to go in one direction, you can't have states splintering off if they're going to spend the other people's money. The fraud, for example, that I'm talking about, and the use of money for illegal immigrants, the people who pay that bill when it, for example, the largesse of California allows folks to get benefits that the rest of the country doesn't think is appropriate for illegal immigrants or home health care providers, that money's paid by folks who are taxpayers in New Mexico, which is a blue state, and Mississippi, a red state. So this is not partisan. everybody is taxed extra and has to put more into the kitty because some states are doing things that we don't think as a country we would like to have happen. That's why this administration has been so dogged in this issue and why the president has been so aggressive. Go ahead, Mary.
Might be why the commies are mad.
If Kenya does end up blocking the U.S. quarantine facility there, and it seems like they might since the Kenyan courts are delaying it, where will Americans who have been exposed end up going? And then why can't they just come to the United States?
We'll just bring them to your house, lady. How about that, Shady?
Yeah, let's park them out front in the RV.
Yeah.
The U.S. has pretty good health care here. So where will they go, and why not to the U.S.?
Jennifer, the main issue with having a facility close to the Democratic Republic of the Congo is if a patient is sick. Again, I'll speak as a heart doctor. I want to take the patient to the OR that's right next door to the room they're sick in, not to the building next to them, or to 3 buildings 2 blocks away, because that time is precious to us. You have a golden hour in many of these instances around trauma, but for illnesses, it's also relatively short. So we are confident, and the State Department's working on this diligently, that they're going to be able to work out something with Kenya. There has already been a fair amount of communication around this issue. We have and that's about it. There's a UK base there. We have other people who might be willing to welcome us, and we have our German colleagues as well. So there's many places we can send folks, but sending them across the world, especially when we're not sure what's going on with them, is probably not the wisest move. In red, take it away.
Thank you so much, Alina Shirazi from the Daily Mail. This is the 4th checkup that the president has had. He's supposed to have 1 a year. He's had several CT heart scans. What are the doctors looking for? And second question, I think you might like this one better. Who has been your favorite cabinet secretary so far to do the briefings at the podium?
That may not be my favorite question. I mean, they're all obviously different. I think Scott Bessent's dry humor is fabulous. Marco is just an earnestly funny person. We can tell all kinds of stories about Marco's entertaining commentary. I think JD was spectacular. He's just very on his game, understands the issues, and he understands the American people, which is I appreciated his presentation so much. And I did watch them all, by the way, just to prepare. I'm a doctor. I try to do my homework. I prep for the case. The first issue was about Ebola. No, about President Trump's
examinations. He's had 4 already. The president's supposed to have 1 a year.
Yeah, so I actually have talked to the president about what he's sent to all of you, and I think it's just a routine, regular exam. You remember I had the president on my show 10 years ago, and he also presented records, and at the time I was stunned at how well he was doing, because so many of these numbers naturally over time will start going in the wrong direction. But if you look at these records, they're spectacular. His cholesterol, his blood pressure, all the numbers are starting in excellent parameters. His ability, I work with him frequently. Many of you get to see him almost every day. That amount of energy and that amount of mental acuity does not exist in a vacuum. You have to have a vessel to carry it, and the president has unique ability to just keep going at all hours of the day with remarkable
the greatest
strength.
vessel.
Let's go.
So the same people that were not concerned about Joe Biden's cognitive is concerned about somebody that's sharp as a tack.
Yeah, so concerned that they've got to ask question after question. They have to write articles. They have to make it up as they go along. Meanwhile, we have Jill Biden out there literally saying that she thought Joe Biden had a stroke during the debate. Yeah. And then they're acting like, like there was something wrong with us for noticing.
Wow. Yeah, we were kicked off YouTube for noticing they had a pick line.
Yeah, we sure were.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That was
Which
in
was
2020.
true.
Yeah, and it was true. Wow.
Right behind you. Yeah.
So the administration has been stressing reshoring manufacturing, pharmaceutical manufacturing is part of that. From those announcements of those 17 pharmaceutical companies, what's the timeline that we could see those projects come to fruition? Is it summer? Is it end of this year?
Well, these companies are already making investments in America. Some are ongoing, some have announced. I went to a ribbon cutting in one in Charlottesville recently. And so there's a lot of investment coming to America. But think about what you would do if you're a pharma executive. If you're a pharma executive and America's open for business and we're trying to support innovation, saving people from, cancer, autoimmune problems, dementia, all these different, you want to be where the action is. So these companies are coming here. It's actually a brain drain from Europe in particular, but other parts of the world as well, of companies who want to come here. So it's not just that we're already going, it's going to get bigger and bigger and louder. No, the jobs are starting when the first time you hire someone to build a plan for you, we have a job. If you're asking for people with picks and helmets, that's also coming quickly. But again, I've been to facilities that are already under construction, so they're starting, and and the president and I visited a facility in Cincinnati a few months ago that, again, they already have the facility, they're already running the facility, they're making additional investments to upgrade their program. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I know this isn't your wheelhouse, but you are speaking on behalf of the White House today. Can you respond to any of the criticism from Republicans on President Trump's decision to tap Bill Pulte, who has no known intelligence experience?
Yeah, it's not General Flynn. It is not General Flynn.
Literally,
it is not General Flynn. And General Flynn was not a Republican until 2022.
And we would literally be fine if he went out and picked any bag lady, any fentanyl addict, any person living in a cardboard box would have been perfect for that position other than General Flynn. How about that, Miss Marty Pants?
I think Bill is a great guy. I know him socially. I've not worked with him in his current job, but I do trust the president's judgment. He is a very sharp, quick study of people, their emotional abilities, and their ability to persevere in the face of hardship. So I have confidence in his decision. Yes, ma'am.
Back on Ebola, given the World Cup coming up and millions of visitors coming to the United States, on the U.S. preparation for this, who is in charge of proactive surveillance measures, and what type of surveillance will the United States be doing for visitors coming in? Will that be expanded beyond the DRC, Uganda, and Sudan? Can you describe what is in place, knowing this influx of people coming soon?
So Jay Bhattacharya, who I spoke to this morning, who is our brilliant leader of the NIH, but also CDC now, is running this program. He's got a lot of help from Dr. Heidi Overton and many others at the White House. So it's a well-constructed game plan. They aggressively got into, and they're funding now, a lot of the treatments that are being offered in the DRC and the Kenya facilities, just an extra way for us to take folks who are Americans who need help. But we have very purposefully put up testing tools and mechanisms at the major airports that people will be traveling through. I have great confidence in Jay's ability. He's a brilliant scientist and knows a lot about viruses. He wrote one of the most important papers really describing the true reality of what was happening during COVID early in the pandemic. It got him in the hot water because it was not convenient to hear it, but he's a brave man who will make the right decisions and be transparent about them. In pink.
Just back to the question about Bill Pulte. Congressional statute says any appointee for the position of the Director of National Intelligence shall have extensive national security expertise. What extensive national security expertise does he have?
Ma'am, you're asking me a question that's out of my lane. I'm so focused on making sure Americans are healthy that I have not been looking at what other agencies. And the edge, go ahead.
Dr. Oz.
Yellow tie, go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Okay. That was fun. Dr. Oz, just now you said that it should be surprising to people that personal care service attendant is now by twofold the most common job in California and the most common job in New York. The U.S. healthcare industry has been growing rapidly, 7 to 8% annually. It's an estimated $5.3 trillion in growth. Healthcare accounts for about 18% of GDP. Why should people be surprised that in two of the most populous states in the country, a healthcare-related job like that would be a common job when it is, again, one of the fastest growing and continuously growing industries in the U.S.? I mean, what's going on here?
The primary difference between paying for a hernia operation and paying someone to be a personal care service is the reason it's concerning to us. If you're having a hernia operation, you have a scar. So I know you got something, and you have a doctor who is licensed, and you had it done in a facility that's also credentialed and has been inspected. When you get personal care services, it's an unlicensed person in an unmonitored setting promising they did something. That's a lot of handshakes and, finger crossing and hoping that it worked out okay. This is a problem that has been growing for years. It's just gotten now to a crisis mode. It is just difficult to imagine that it's twice as many jobs as anything else. It's not that healthcare jobs aren't important, of course they are. But if we put guardrails around these programs, we'll allow them to thrive. I'm here because I love Medicaid. The president has already said he loves and cherishes Medicaid and Medicare. Medicaid in particular is the ultimate payer of last resort. We cannot allow these programs to be defrauded into a turmoil that they cannot pull up from. And so if we love these programs, we'll make the difficult decisions. Let me pivot from that just to describe what came out yesterday, which is the work requirement rule that our agency, and Dan Brillman and Capri Snap did a fantastic job writing this, dealt with a lot of states, but as you know, in the Working Families Tax Cut legislation, which I believe saved Medicaid. And the reason I say that is our actuarials told us we would be spending $5.4 trillion more for this program over the next decade if we didn't deal with some of the legalized money laundering that was siphoning money out of the program. Part of the reason that this is so attractive to states is they could take money in ways that it was not designed to be used, paying people along the way so they didn't have to pay for it themselves. I get it. I understand why the governors did it, but it didn't align the president with the governors. With that law, we also had a work requirement rule. Now, what was that? The work requirement was based on concepts that date back from when Bill Clinton was president, with the temporary assistance for needy families. When the Democratic administration said the fraud is getting so bad, the abuse so big in these programs, we need to clean them up. We need to get people to try to work. It's a path to prosperity. I hope you share this belief, that we're put on this earth with agency to change our future, change the country's future, to make the planet a better place. We're put here to make a difference. But if you're sitting at home, which is true for the millions of people who are able-bodied on Medicaid, on average, you're spending 6.1 hours watching television or just hanging around. That's not why you're here. So as a path to prosperity, Congress very wisely said, let's get you back into the workforce. Let's require you to get free health care coverage, to be able to work for 20 hours a week, or volunteer to make up the difference if you haven't worked 20 hours, or get an education, just participate. And so that rule came out. It's I think, beautifully written effort to try to define for our nation what your part of the puzzle is. Because if you are going to get something that of value from the American people, there should be some obligation, if you're able to. If you're not able to, if you're disabled, if you're, in one of the categories that are well defined in general, not able to work, it's different. But if you can work, you should get up and work again, because that's historically how it always was. In 1965, when Medicaid was created, that was the deal. There were 11 million people in the program. We perverted that. Yes, sir.
Doctor, thank you. Since you're here speaking on behalf of the administration, part of the reason we're asking about the President's decision to appoint Bill Pulte to be the head of National Intelligence is it's been 4 hours and we've been asking the White House why he's qualified to do so. You're a heart surgeon or a heart doctor?
Yeah.
Would you recommend a patient go see someone who isn't?
Oh my God. Dude.
But think about this. Now remember, what do? We look for their concern. We watch their concern very closely, and we listen to what their concern says. Look at him, boy, he's there trying to compare the ODNI position to the idea of a heart surgeon, because it's not that person. This person doesn't have the right intelligence capabilities, Jeff. They don't have the proper tools. They don't have the right tradecraft for this position.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that guy better.
I mean, now that the mainstream media and the fake MAGA are all reeing about this, I'm all for it now.
Oh, me too, dude.
It's almost like when George Bush, the first, said no new taxes, and we got new taxes, right?
Right.
We don't like Bill Pulte, so maybe we should like Bill Pulte.
I'm literally going to navigate that way for the rest of my life.
Back to stupid ass question. Here we go.
You're asking the question with the premise that Bill Pulte is not qualified. I don't know anything about his situation, and I appreciate you want an answer. I'm not going to be the one giving it to you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. This is Elizabeth with the Daily Signal. What are you doing, first of all, to remove any illegal immigrants who are still receiving Medicaid from the program? You mentioned earlier that's something you've been working on. And then secondly, Medicaid reimbursement for Planned Parenthood will resume July 4th unless Congress acts to extend the One Big Beautiful Bill. As CMS Administrator, what's your message to Congress on that?
On the illegal immigrant side, I'll take one question at a time, if you don't mind. Just a lot of folks. We have, because we now can do it, a very straightforward way for the 44 states that don't have state-based Medicaid plans for us to be able to audit it to people that we're paying for our citizens or not. In the state-based plans, like I mentioned in California, and there's a few other states, Colorado, Washington, et cetera, Illinois, they have their own plans. So we have to now audit their plans. This is a challenge, and that's why before I came here, I met with a bunch of Medicaid directors from many states, red and blue, and they want us to help rebuild the tech infrastructure of Medicaid in this country. Imagine 50 balkanized programs. You spend $20 billion a year, $20 billion for tech infrastructure, and we're not getting our money's worth. So we're putting $200 million more because of the Working Families Tax Cut legislation. We've negotiated, Dan Brillman did $600 million of in-kind contributions from the vendors to be able to get the work requirement done in an effective way. But I think it's the first step of a much larger national opportunity to fix how data flows. And one bit on this, Medicare's billing system, which many of your relatives are using, was a 1979 era COBOL-based system. I don't even have engineers who know how to use that system. And so if you're going to really use cloud-based tools, if you want to use technology to help Americans connect better with the healthcare system, you have to update them. The president has been supportive of this, so we are upgrading the system. And my hope is that we can use the tech transformation tools of this government to bring people to work with us from the private sector. And every major tech company is a partner of ours. Now, our pledge is 700. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to follow up on her question behind me. If the president's in such perfect health, why does he keep going back in for checkups?
I think he likes the results. He does really well. He aces the test.
Oh
every
my
single
God!
day. And I don't.
That's a great
I do
answer,
actually
though.
believe that he's.
So now he's going in too much to get checked up because they're saying that he's.
Well, it's like, well, they're probably sending him in to get checked up so they can find something that's wrong with him, and they don't find anything that's wrong with him, and they end up getting a good report, and so that's the wrong optic, and so now they're frustrated with the idea that he's even going in there. So you tell him that first you tell him he can't pass the test, then after he passes the test, you tell him, oh, well, that test isn't the right test.
Yeah,
you see, this is the way that these people, communists, will move the goalposts on you.
Oh my God.
Note to self.
Yeah. Sandy Star White says, to prove how much of an asshat you are.
Exactly.
Wait.
So true.
Let me here. This is the reporter's question. Let's listen to it. Listen. That's all I hear, Shady.
The answer is no. The answer is no.
Here we go back.
You got to learn to
Curious to make
interpret
sure everything's going in the right direction. He's a very meticulous person in so many ways that are often underappreciated. But for him to want to know all the numbers and keep on top of them, it's the same reason he calls people at odd hours, because something's on his mind and he wants to deal with it. Yes, in purple.
I wanted to ask about the UFC fight here at the White House next week. The president recently invested in the parent company of UFC. Is it a conflict of interest for him to be promoting this event while he's invested in UFC's parent company?
I don't think the president sits in the Oval Office and makes individual investment decisions, but I don't know about that issue. But knowing him, I suspect someone else is making those decisions for him. But wait, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Oz. The Obamacare subsidies expired earlier this year.
So let's think about that. So Trump is invested in UFC. It's probably not him. It's probably Eric, right? It's his company that he does not run because he had to get rid of that, all those ties, put stuff into separate trusts, guys, okay? And she's asking a stupid-ass question because she thinks that you're a stupid ass. Then we gotta invest in a free, again, let me just, this whole event is free. Okay, free of no taxpayer dollars. The UFC is sponsoring it, and you don't have to pay anything for it. So, is that a good business model to invest in? So, I'm gonna
have to hold off. You're going to have to hold off on your value. You're not really going to want to jump on this opportunity, sir. I understand it's very appealing, and you got you're a little charged up there, and you want to get right in. But there might not be a good ROI there. Hold off on your money, and we'll just hang on just a second right now. We'll let the big dogs eat on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Lady in purple.
What negative consequences have you seen, and do you see any policy adjustments that need to be made?
Let's talk about Obamacare. Let's take a step back. 2015, 16, 17, 18, 2020. There were 9 million people on Obamacare. 9 million. Today, it's more than 20 million. What happened? What happened was we completely took the guardrails off. And I know this because I'm working in the agency that actually was told to take the guardrails off. And because there wasn't an earnest desire to keep track of whether you're appropriately on it or not, but more importantly, just get the number to where we all feel good about ourselves, we had massive increases of people joining the program. We believe that 35% roughly of the people that are using the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare exchanges, because they've never used the program once, they've never filed a claim, may not be legit. And that actual number may translate to 5-6 million people we could be paying premiums for because they don't have to contribute anything. So they don't even know they're getting it. These are people who have Medicaid, and someone, often a broker, is dishonestly enrolling them on in an Affordable Care Act, or they're in 2 states at once getting full insurance paid for by us in multiple states at once. So we have evaluated these numbers. They're extremely concerning. There's a very strong effort by us. We actually made a rule 2 weeks ago that starts the process. We had tried to do this when we first came into office. A court enjoined us. They did not feel we'd followed appropriate APA guidelines, government guidelines. And so we redid it, and now it went back out again. But if you care about the ACA, then you'll want us to take the fraud out. And let me just take a step back. If we want you to go back to work on Medicaid, what's going to happen? You're going to start making money. As you make money, you're going to make enough money, you get above the poverty level, you're going to want to buy an Affordable Care Act product. Or private industry, commercial insurers are going to start using it. That's a good thing. We're getting America back up. They're getting into work, getting them into the stratosphere, building prosperity. So we want these programs to work together. But if you've got millions of people, literally, who are getting insurance that they don't want, they don't even know they have it, and we're all paying for it, that's tens of billions of dollars we're throwing away. That increases premiums for everybody. It drives affordability down. We're not going to tolerate it anymore. Sir in the back, in the beard. Yeah.
Now, Shady, that 35% of all Medicare is like stagnant. Nobody's made a claim.
No, he's saying ACA, Affordable Care Act.
Affordable. Oh yeah. Sorry, Affordable Care Act. 35% are no claims. So are those even legit? Great question, Shady.
Right now, I'm looking at this, guys. I mean, this is crazy. So I even got a graph for you already. Look at this. Like, this stuff is crazy. Look at here. Oh, where am I? 35% related to the Affordable Care Act, and how many people are enrolled? And here it says 23 million people are enrolled in this nonsense. And then it's like, here's the graph of the uptick. Like, where did these people come from?
Yeah.
Mexico, some of them came from Guatemala, Shady, some were from Honduras, probably. And then they come in and then they register. They come into a state, notify that they're there. They get immediately registered. Then the government will pay that enrollment fee to that state, and there's no person that ever makes a claim. Holy horse pucky!
What?
Do you know what your baseline payment is that the government pays for that? That you sign up a new person every year? This is like 10 million people of fraud. What's the average? Oh God, this is gonna.
Holy horse pucky.
What's average?
Holy horse pucky.
Monthly. Oh my God, monthly ACA charge. I'm sorry, but I'm geeking out over this because this is new information to me. And so let's see, like a monthly enrollment fee would roughly be, enroll premium pays $180 a month. So 35 million, or no, wait, 7 million times
23 million.
Well, it'd be 35%, right? So 7 million, or roughly that's 7 million people times 178
5 to 6 million are fraudulent.
dollars a month.
5 to 6 million.
Yeah. So that's holy shit. Oops.
Wow,
Look at that.
All right.
That's 1.2 billion a month, sir. Of just the fraudulent enrollment fees. That's
we could balance the budget.
That's balancing the budget right there. That's all. That's not. You guys just saw me do that math. That's you said 5, 6 million, 7 million. That's roughly 35%. That's 1.2 billion a month. The times 12 per year.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, guys.
And 1.5 billion budgeted for illegals in
like
Oregon.
15 billion. 15 billion, right on the number. 15 billion a year, guys.
Wow. Crazy.
Look
Insanity.
at what AI can do for information.
Yeah, that's good. And you know, this is all insane, guys. We have so much fraud. You know, it's funny. Why do you think Canada has free healthcare and the EU have free healthcare? Because they don't pay for their own security. We do.
Well, it might be because we're paying for it.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe the Canadians snuck across the border and registered for the AC. That's what's going on.
I mean, they don't like. We have in Florida. We have a lot of Canadians coming down for knee replacements because it's better here. The care is better here.
There's not that many of them, dude. You know how many Canadians there are?
No, I don't want to do that. Let's go back to this. Here we go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rose. We are happy to see you. I'm sorry, I will ask you a question because I'm Turkish
No,
American.
only one question. Doesn't matter. One question.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, you know, the Turkish president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and American president has a good relations. And there's a report they are going to meet in Turkey and United States game in Los Angeles. Have you heard about it? And also there's a NATO summit in Turkey in July. So you're Turkish American, I don't know, do you have any idea? Are you going to join? And what you're thinking about Erdogan and Trump relations?
I have no idea about these meetings. I've not been invited to anything. I suspect I won't be invited to everything because I've got a lot of work to do here. I'll give it right there. Go ahead. Good. Yes.
Jordan Conrad's Gateway Pundit, you know, back to the illegal aliens on Medicare and Medicaid. Last October, you announced that you had found over $1 billion in federal tax dollars going to illegal aliens. How much has that amount increased as of today? And, you know, it's kind of like fish in a barrel. Are these people being referred to immigration for prosecution and deportation?
The number has doubled from what I said last year. We're about $2 billion. The good news is that many states realize this is a problem and they themselves have stopped doing this. Listen, it's the same basic story again and again. We as a nation make a decision because we're one people. Individual states have to take that decision and use it to the best of their ability. Some states don't do as good a job as other states. That's why we're looking to individual states for leadership, for better ideas to deal with many of these social problems that unfortunately begin to pile up over time, and they threaten the very foundation of our social net that supports all of us. That's why this matters so much. If you quiz the vice president, he grew up in an environment where he saw people abuse this. I know that's the case of people who are in the task force right now, the anti-fraud White House task force. So there's a passion about this, and for good reason. I mean, the president calls the vice president Elliot Ness. He wants him, you know, he likes the fact that he's taking this seriously, he's going at it, and he's doing what's best for the American people by making some tough decisions. One last question, take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Oz. Back to Bill Pulte, but with a national security angle. The president has pushed very hard to renew FISA, Section 702. It expires in 10 days, just ahead of the World Cup. And there's this heightened threat environment with the war in the Middle East. We've heard all agencies talk about the threat environment these days and how people can be very concerned about it. On Capitol Hill, you've had lawmakers today raising concern about Bill Pulte, and on the Democrat side, questioning his ability to carry out that role fairly and not weaponize it. What can you say about to allay their concerns, and can you also answer a question that was posed by Susan Collins about whether Pulte has a security clearance?
No!
I don't know anything more about Bill Pulte than you do. I did not think that would have been a question that would even come up here. I hadn't even heard the news when I walked out. Okay, let me leave you with. We have one last question, but I do want. Okay, go ahead, ask me. I'll come to you. I have a GOP question. What's your question?
Do you have any medical advice for the Americans out there that are suffering from a very serious ailment called Trump derangement syndrome?
I am concerned about folks who have focused their entire life energy on dislike of the president. It's disheartening to see people lost in that way, but you know, treating stupid is really hard.
It really is. It's impossible. It's an incurable disease.
GLP-1s. I mean, let me just answer for because I'm out of time. And
very quick one. Are Americans getting real deal medication, brand name like Wegovy, Ozempic, or it will be generic on Trump RX?
Oh my God.
The Trump RX product is the real deal, the true API, the pharmaceutical product that's made by the two major providers right now, which are nobody knows. There are other companies coming into the space. You know, we have these products that are given by these companies as part of this deal, so we like to use the real product to be able to satisfy the needs of the American consumer.
Oh wow!
It's a brand name. It's a brand name. Last question from the middle. Go, last question. Take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Oz.
So Kenya basically has stopped, has asked US not to build the quarantine
Spit it out, lady.
And the people, the responders from here who are supposed to go there, do you think the Trump administration's policy of not allowing people who are exposed, Americans who are exposed to the virus, come back to the US will dissuade these responders from going there?
No.
They want to bring the sick people back? Like, what are they talking about?
Leadership, a very favorable arrangement with Kenya. I've been to Kenya. It's a beautiful country. Very sophisticated
somebody
people.
back
They're going to do the right thing for
Obama.
everybody, and I think it's a perfect solution. I thank you very much.
Thank
for
you.
participating. God
Good
bless you all. Take
Lord.
care.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a nice little adventure. We took a little field trip into the arena of stupid, and he is very right, Jeff. The stupid is twofold. It's a two-pronged problem. One, it's incurable. Two, it is terminal. So, good Lord, I mean, I just wish them the best. God bless them, and God bless their poor little hearts. Sweet.
All right, guys. Well, that is the MG show for today. Gosh. Wow. You know, it's funny that we know the answers before. I mean, these people, how are these? So what are their, they're so worried about Bill Pulte being a DNI. What are their qualifications for being media?
None.
Zero. Lying.
Yeah, actually, that's not true. They do have qualifications. I forgot. I wasn't looking at the right resume. They're communists.
Oh, and they're probably once CIA?
Yeah, they're communists. Well, those are kind of the in tandem. Bloodline family, communist, CIA, cartel, Jesuit, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly right.
I will.
Wow, Shady Grove.
All right.
So, Trump is in control of Netanyahu, period, the end. Confirmed by your president, Donald J. Trump, Shady Grove.
Yeah,
and
for everybody out there, please, if you're out there on social media and you see an idiot making a statement that Benjamin Netanyahu is puppeting Donald Trump, feel free to drop a link to this show to them and tag us. We'll come over and say, hey, what up?
All right, guys, we'll see you guys, tomorrow? No, wait, we're going to take the day off tomorrow.
We are?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys, we love you. See you
guys.
Thursday. Everybody needs to wake up. Awakened heart meets sleeping eyes, guys. Here we go.
See the chains they forge and globalists fight. Fake news open borders, souls were high.
You chase their crumbs while the republic burns. I broke the spell, now it's your turn.
They lied about the election, the jab, the plan. But truth is rising like a lion from the land.
Your world feels safe in the blue pill cage.
I feel the storm, Trump's coming back on the stage.
Awakened heart, these sleeping eyes. Two worlds collide under freedom skies. I reach for you through the fog of life. This is the great awakening. Open your eyes.
Chop wood, carry water,
Drain the swamp deep.
MG show truth.
Cut the silence we keep.
From the darkness we rise.
No more elite control.
MAGA forever, reclaim the American soul. You talk like you know with that knowing grin. While I'm grinding taxes, watching the country spin. Deep state, big tech, they own the game. But something's shifting, I feel the flame. I laughed at the memes, called it all a joke. Now the red pill's hit and the blind is broke. Your light exposes every dirty deal. Makes me question everything they made me feel.
Awakened heart, these sleeping eyes. Two worlds collide under freedom pill down your throat.
But the matrix is falling. Hear the thunder know.
The prison doors open, sovereignty pose.
Trump's moving, marching. Watch the sleeping ones stand tall. No more globalist chains. No more silent defeat. The great awakening pounding in the street. Awakened heart meets sleeping eyes. Of America rising. Hear the battle cry. We reach together, tear down the disguise. This is the great awakening.
Under God we rise.
Shot put, carry water.
Side by side we fight.
MG show warrior.
On in the night.
From the ashes we build.
Border strong and secure.
Trust America, the future is pure.
Awakened heart meets sleeping eyes.
Sleeping one
Wake up.
finally opens their eyes
The Great
The
Awakening.
awakened soul just smile.
and hands them the key.
This is the great
Awakening. Where we go, one we go.
God bless you all. Thank you very much. www.mg.show. Boom.